This is all about Bitcoin, a show dedicated to all things questions and markets related to Bitcoin, little b for the currency, and Bitcoin, big B for the network, a collective journey to understand, apply, and use this innovation, all Bitcoin, all the time. I'm your host, Christine Lee. Let's have a live look at Bitcoin. The CoinDesk Bitcoin price XBX index is currently trading at $46,642. It is slightly up, almost 0.5% over the past 24 hours. Let's take a look at some of our top stories. Big one of the day, payments giant Mastercard buying CipherTrace, a firm that scans blockchains for illicit transactions, at a time when a number of governments and banks look to ramp up monitoring and compliance. The surprise acquisition gives Mastercard the ability to track over 900 cryptocurrencies. Details of the acquisition were not disclosed, though comes after Daniel Loeb's Third Point Ventures led a $27 million investment in CipherTrace in June. And joining us now to discuss is CipherTrace CEO Dave Jevans. Welcome to the show, Dave. Very timely to have you here. Congratulations. Are you able to disclose a few details on how much this acquisition was for and how this all came about?
Well, it's great to be with you today. This acquisition came about through many months of work with Mastercard. We did initial prototypes as having them, be a customer of ours. We work with banks, cryptocurrency companies, government agencies, and we did a lot of really interesting research with the team to become a customer. And over the following months, they decided they wanted to be more than a customer. So we've had a lot of time to work with the team, It's been a cool journey.
It's interesting you say you've been in discussions for several months because you just raised $27 million in June. Did you anticipate this happening at the time?
No, we didn't. So things went pretty quickly with the team. So we thought that they were going to be a customer. Then we thought they were going to be an investor. And then things moved forward from there, where we saw a real synergy to bring these two companies together, to bring crypto to the mainstream, to over 20,000 banks, government agencies, to leverage the synergies between the companies around AI, machine learning, anti-fraud technologies.
Mm-hmm. Your competitor, Chainalysis, just raised $100 million in a Series D round that valued the firm at $2 billion. Any idea what CipherTrace is valued at?
Yes.
I can tell. I'm trying to figure out. Everyone wants to know.
Good try.
Okay, fair enough. I have to at least try. All right. So.
You have to try.
Why does Mastercard need a crypto intelligence firm?
I think this is basically a recognition that crypto is going to be part of the mainstream financial services market, whether it's settlement, clearing, or investment, or even like what we're seeing in El Salvador is a legitimization of cryptocurrencies, and particularly Bitcoin in that case, as legal tender. The major payment networks are going to have to participate in this huge revolution. And Mastercard is one of the biggest payment networks on the planet. They have over 500 million customers and 20,000 banks. It's the right solution. And we feel like this is a big step in the legitimization of virtual currencies, cryptocurrencies, and we're super excited to bring this to the world. I think it brings our product that we've worked on for so many years into the market in a big way globally, and we get to leverage a lot of the strengths of the company as well around anti-fraud, anti-money laundering,
right.
And really legitimize Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies.
So in July, Mastercard said it would be piloting USD Coin to bridge crypto users with merchants. In February, Mastercard said it was planning to let merchants accept crypto through its network by the year's end. Can you add anything more about their strategy in entering the digital asset space?
I can't add anything to that at this point. We're still in a a period of bringing the companies together. But I think, as you can see from the previous announcements that have been made public, that the company has a very forward-leaning posture on bringing crypto and digital assets to the marketplace.
Mm-hmm. And what will be your role after the acquisition?
Well, I'm going to be at Mastercard for a couple of years here at least, and hopefully longer than that. We are going to be integrated into the company, which I think is awesome for any financial institution that wants to deploy crypto assets, because they'll be so easy to buy from us. I think it's super powerful that way. I also feel like being able to bring the research and development capabilities of Mastercard into CipherTrace is going to be a fantastic opportunity as well. Mastercard's got an R&D facility there that has done a lot of work in blockchain and has filed many patents. So we feel like there's a lot of intellectual synergy as well as sales synergy. And I'm really looking forward to continuing to run the company under the Mastercard brand and then help them really scale this to the world.
What can you say about security and privacy as this partnership and this acquisition takes place?
Well, as you know, CipherTrace has really been about protecting privacy and security of our customers and of individuals. So yes, we do provide capabilities for example, banks or cryptocurrency exchanges or law enforcement to understand where funds flow across the cryptocurrency environment and the world. We've also been leaders in travel rule and are sponsors of the TRISA Travel Rule Information Sharing Alliance. But we believe privacy is of absolute importance across the world. So GDPR in Europe, United States privacy. So we feel very strongly about privacy, and I think Mastercard feels the same way. So this is not about any way exploiting privacy. This is really like increasing it.
Okay, and there are a lot of security concerns with all these ransomware attacks happening as digital currencies are used more and more. I'm going to take one last stab at this, Dave, but Chainalysis was valued at about $2 billion. Can you give a ballpark? Is it more or is it less with CipherTrace?
We're not playing that game. I'm sorry.
Dave, I'm trying.
We'll say we're all happy.
Thumbs up if it's more. Blink twice.
Everyone's happy.
All right, Dave. Thank you very much.
We're really excited about this. We're really excited about the move. I think this really brings the market into focus here of having a big company, one of the biggest payment providers on the planet Earth, bringing crypto to all of their customers. Like, this is a wonderful thing.
It's big news, and big congratulations to you, Dave. Looking forward to seeing how the partnership evolves. All right, that was CipherTrace CEO Dave Jevans. Coming up, Bitcoin price analysis with data analytics firm Messari. Looking at some more top stories, the Ukrainian parliament passing a measure Wednesday legalizing and regulating all virtual assets, including cryptocurrencies, one day after El Salvador rolled out Bitcoin as legal tender. The bill now heads to the country's president for his signature and adds to signs of growing adoption of cryptocurrencies around the world, say digital asset managers. Meanwhile, the SEC has once again delayed ruling on VanEck's bid for a Bitcoin exchange-traded fund, giving itself until November 14th to approve or reject the VanEck Bitcoin Trust, one of the earliest Bitcoin ETF hopefuls to try its luck this filing cycle, and the first whose judgment day has been delayed 3 times. That's an important distinction, as the SEC can only delay its decision 3 times. And finally, former CFTC top official Brian Quintenz is joining venture capital firm Andreessen Horowitz as a part-time advisor. Quintenz left the federal commodities regulator in August after making a splash advocating for stablecoins and self-regulatory organizations for crypto. A16Z, which recently raised over $2 billion for its crypto fund 3, has been beefing up its crypto talent, including former Winklevoss Capital associate Jane Lippincott. Separately, CFTC Commissioner Dan Berkowitz filing a public statement today signaling his intent to depart in October after 20 years with the regulatory agency.
The chart of the day is brought to you by Crypto.com, the world's fastest growing crypto app.
Bitcoin stuck in a tight range as sellers take a breather from this week's sell-off. The cryptocurrency is oversold on intraday charts, which could encourage buyers to step in, albeit limited towards the 50,000 resistance level. The relative strength index is oversold on the 4-hour chart, which typically precedes a price bounce. However, the RSI is neutral on the daily and weekly chart, suggesting a period of consolidation between $42,000 support and $50,000 resistance could persist. Upside momentum has slowed over the past month, though Bitcoin is climbing Thursday after the European Central Bank said it would reduce the pace of asset purchases moderately under the Pandemic Emergency Purchase Program for monetary stimulus. Cryptocurrencies and risky traditional assets like stocks have been major beneficiaries of the asset purchase programs launched by the ECB, Federal Reserve, and other major central banks to combat any pandemic-induced economic slowdown. But the limited scope of the ECB's latest move shows the level of caution monetary policy makers are taking as they unwind the approach. Joining us now to discuss the crypto markets is Aidan, Mott, research analyst at data analytics firm Messari. Hello there, Aidan. Good to have you on the show. So we're seeing that Bitcoin is taking a breather. What's your outlook on what's happening?
Well, I think what we saw over the past week with this rapid cascading liquidations across pretty much all crypto markets. It's a good sign in the sense that we're seeing kind of a healthy rebound into kind of more normal territories with this price action. To see the price rebound and stabilize after that is also something that sheds a positive light on the strength of where the market is right now. And it's hard to say whether there's any looming kind of threats around regulation or other things that may burst this run we've been on over the past 3 months or so. But yeah.
What's your thesis on what triggered this week's correction in the first place?
I think Bitcoin markets and crypto markets are usually pretty cyclical, and this is something that we see a lot of the times when markets go up for a certain amount of time. People get comfortable. We see leverage start to increasing, open interest up across the board, and it's pretty much a reset on that and those rates to get back to a healthier place where we don't have as much margin on the line.
Are you seeing any patterns in terms of whale activity or institutional versus retail trading right now?
It's difficult to say exactly. I would say in terms of institutions, we do see a lot more of the larger traditional finance groups becoming more and more comfortable with that. Similar secondary effects of that, I think you see similar with what you talked about earlier with Mastercard acquiring CipherTrace. While the money might not be going directly to buying the asset or allocating part of the company's treasury to Bitcoin, we are seeing large diversification of traditional finance money into the crypto markets in different ways.
Mm-hmm. And geographically, any interesting trading trends?
None that I could speak of at the moment.
Fair enough. And your end of year forecast?
I would say we end the year at or higher than we are today overall.
at or higher than today. All right, slightly bullish there. Aidan, thank you so much for joining us. Appreciate your insights. That was Messari research analyst Aidan Mott. And that's it for All About Bitcoin. I'm your host, Christy Lee. Join us tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. in New York for First Mover, your first look at the day's global crypto news headlines. You're watching CoinDesk TV.